Hey guys, so I wanted to film this video to kind of break a mindset belief I know a lot of people have, and I was in my new community. It's on like this platform called School, and the lady was like, "I have 30 years of experience, but it's not translating into getting clients." And I wanted to kind of make this video to kind of like explain why that kind of happens for a lot of people and what to do about it in case you're, facing that challenge. So I made a video about a year ago. It was like right around New Year's of 2023, or it might have been like 2022, one of the two. But I told you guys who have a lot of experience, there's a new wave of bookkeepers, accountants, CFOs that are coming in that have less experience than you, but they're just better when it comes to building a business, and they are basically going to be taking your lunch. Now, I don't say that to be, like mean or anything like that. If anything, it's encouraging because like if you're watching this, you don't have a lot of bookkeeping experience. It's like it's cool because you don't need it. But if you do have it, you need to start learning how to differentiate yourself outside of just being able to do the work. Now, this is a thing that me and my business partner didn't understand when we first started our business because like she had like 30 years of experience as well, but like that just was not translating into us getting clients. There's really three main things you get to focus on in order to go and reach like, your goal, whether your goal is 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month for a bookkeeping or an accounting business. And the reason why it's cool to have that experience, but experience does not get clients. Experience more makes it easier for you to charge a higher price point and easier for someone to say yes because it generally it's going to create more trust in the person you can actually do the job. But if you never have anyone in front of you that actually thinks you can do the job, it doesn't matter. So number one, you need visibility. Okay? Your goal needs to be how can you get at least 2,000 business owners to know you exist, like you, and have at least said one word to you over the course of XYZ year or time period. Right? Now I know 2,000 might sound like a large number, and it can be. I'm of course desensitized to like internet numbers, right? I have like 40,000 people in my Facebook group. I have close to we get about 200,000 views a year for our YouTube channel, right? So like those numbers don't really mean a lot to me anymore. But for someone, if you're just starting out, all you need to do is have 5 to 6 new business owners per day know you exist. That's it. 5 to 6 new per day. Now that number might seem super small, but the trick is, can you do it consistently? Because anybody can have a good day, can have a good week, but can you have a good month? Can you have a good year? Right? It's all about that visibility. Because you could be the smartest person in the world, but if no one knows you exist, what does it matter? You might as well have zero knowledge, right? So the first thing is all about visibility, getting seen, getting out there as much as possible. One thing I always like to think about is like a lot of people like when they're younger they want to be either like a singer or maybe like they want to be like playing an instrument or like a famous like pop star or whatever. And what ends up happening is that I'm just gonna make this a very simple example. I'm not trying to make this like the end all be all example of like how to have a music career. Okay, and I know it's a very touchy subject, so I'm not trying to offend anybody. But there's a lot of people that they spend all their time playing music in their room versus people that are out there on stages. They're going to the open mics. They're going to the music school. They're going to the music event. They're showing up outside the tour bus. They're calling the people who make it. They're calling agents. They're emailing agents. They're doing talent shoots. Like those are two different things, right? Now I understand like you might not be like a world star, famous like Justin Bieber level kind of person, right? But you're generally going to have a much higher likelihood of finding success by being the person that's out there invisible than the person that's maybe amazing but only plays in their like house. It's the same thing with this business, right? Same thing with this business. You working on your job is the equivalent of like you like being inside of your house playing your music, right? That's number one. Number two is audience. So we said the top line value is 2,000 business owners. Now, that's almost like the revenue in your business, right? So there's revenue and there's profit, right? So when I think of audience, I think of what is the total number of visibility, and within that total number of visibility, you should have 10% of that audience actually display interest in your service, right? That means 1 out of 10 people that are following you should just basically say they need your help or they're interested in your help. If you can do that, you're going to be at 6 figures very simply, very quickly. Now, the difference between just having a top line number of followers and having an audience is that the audience actually knows you, they like you, and they trust you. Now, when you have a lot of experience, it makes it easier for them to trust you. But again, there's also that no factor. So one thing you can do is start by either messaging or making like content. Now, for most people, if you don't have someone that's sitting over your shoulder showing you how to make content, I wouldn't do it. It's just the stuff you're going to write about is not going to be relevant to the business owners you're trying to work with. You're not going to have enough views on it because your visibility is going to be too low. And it just is not going to work the way you think. Sorry, my camera is kind of at a weird angle. It's like on a selfie stick. Ooh. It's on a selfie stick and I'm kind of like sitting in a chair. So I would not make content if I was just starting out and I have no guidance. Like for me, I make a lot of content. But the reason why is because I'm a trained content person. Give me one sec. Like I've literally paid thousands of dollars to learn how to write posts, how to make videos, as well as I've filmed over 1,500 videos in the last like 3 years alone. Right? So, and even then, even though I've shot 1,500 videos, like I still have paid money for coaches to like show me how do you post? What do you even do on a YouTube channel? How do you make this thing work, right? So if you don't have that, the much easier route is going to be messaging people. So that's learning how to take people from social media who already have displayed that they potentially have a really good sized business and learning how to send simple messages. You can send like 2 to 3 messages to each person and then that will display if they have the interest or not and then learn how to get them to want to schedule a call with you. If you can do that on a consistent basis, like it doesn't take much to go and reach 6 figures in your business. Because think about it. You only really need 20 to 40 people to book a call with you in order to get to 6 figures. Like that's really all you need. Right? Because I'm going to assume that the people that book a call, half of them aren't going to show up to your call. That's like worst case scenario for our students. We don't have that, but I'm just saying if you're untrained, you have no one else helping you out, that's generally what's going to happen. So all you have to do is just close 50% of the people that show up. Very simple. Get 20 people to say yes to you. And like this is worst case scenario. Right? Because let's say your worst case, you have like clients that are paying you $500 a month. You get 20 people paying you $500 a month. You're already at $10,000 a month. But let's say you get a client for $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and then you have a couple for $750, maybe one for $800, $900. That drastically reduces the number of clients you need and the number of consultation calls you need. Right? So it makes things so much easier for you to get going. But that kind of brings to our third point, which is communication. Learning how to communicate to someone effectively to get them to understand what you do, why they should care, what's in it for them, and how they should take the next step towards working with you is a skill within itself. I talk to so many people every single day that have no understanding of communication. And it's not really your fault, right? If you've never taken classes, if you've never done sales, or even if you have done sales, like there's a lot of people that do sales that are terrible at sales. I literally I spoke to probably in the last like month, there was like 5 people that I spoke to, like they're like, oh yeah, I do sales. They were so bad. Because think about it, if you're good at sales, you should not have a problem making 6 figures a year. Just being completely honest with you. If you are any good at sales and you have a halfway decent product, like think about it. If you sell a client for $500 per month, that is $6,000 per year. Right? So how many people, you don't really need that many people that you sell to in order to get to 100. You get one client, you're like 6% of the way there. You know what I mean? So it's really about learning to communicate because a lot of people think that like when it comes to sales they're like, oh, I'm great at talking, I have the gift of gab. It's like, bro, you're not gonna sell just because you have the gift, just because you talk a lot. Like whenever I hear someone say like they have the gift of gab, I know they do not know what they're doing when it comes to sales, because sales is not about talking. Sales is about understanding what a person needs and what they want and connecting the dots between how you can help them. But if you just start talking about what you think they want, you're gonna be way off because they might need to think about something totally different. I'll give you a case in point example. We had a student today in our mentorship program. I was talking to him on one of our calls, and he he basically asked this person about the thing, and he said it was a problem, but the guy didn't even think it was a problem. The guy had like $194,000 in unreceived. It's in his AR. It was like overdue. It was like 194 was overdue, 276 was outstanding. And everyone was in the comments saying, "Oh, dude, your collection sucks." And then my student even kind of fell on the bandwagon. I said, "Hey, do you want help with your collections? And do you want XYZ, blah, 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 blah." And the guy didn't even think it was a problem. He was like, "Oh, no, it's not that big of a deal. I live in a small town. They all pay throughout the year, et cetera, et cetera. It's all good." So if he had said that on a sales consultation call, he would not have gotten the client because that's not what the person thought his problem was. Instead, you need to ask the person, what do you feel is your actual problem? And now you can start moving forward towards a sale and towards working together. But if you just have the gift of gab, you're just going to talk. Be like, yeah, all businesses should have a accounts receivable amount of this much. If you have this much, then you're not going to do good in business. So now you're insulting the person. And it's like, well, you need a bookkeeper to do this. Well, now you just told them what they need to do, but they don't believe in you. And now, yeah, you should do this, and like you should pay me this, and like this is the price. And then they say like, no, I don't want to pay you this. You're like, well, you need a bookkeeper. It's like, bro, like you're not going to sell. You're not going to close. Like you end up just like feeling like you end up just like coming across like a pushy person. And it's very interesting because a lot of people like, I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. I don't like pushy sales. But oftentimes you're not, the reason why you end up being pushy is not because you're like a bully or you're pushing people. It's because you are constantly telling them what you think they want to hear, what you think they need to hear in order to close the deal. And it's so far irrelevant off of what they think that they end up saying no, but you think that it's a yes, and you keep saying, well, I can do this. What about this? Well, how about this? And you're trying to problem solve out loud in your mind where, again, you didn't listen to get an understanding. The more you can listen on the consultation call, the less you have to speak. The less you speak, the easier it is to not come across as pushy. So it kind of comes down to those three things. It's not about your experience. I don't care if you have a million years of experience. If someone beats you and they have more visibility, their audience likes them more, and they have better quality communication skills than you, no matter how much experience you have, they're going to make way more money than you. Now, the good thing is that if you can have these three things and have the experience, you'll be able to do well as well. It's not about the experience. It's about, are you willing to put in the work to find those three things? Because it's not hard work. I'm going to be honest. It's not that hard work. But it's still work, right? I'm not going to tell you like, oh, this stuff is easy. No, it's not easy, but it's very simple. And when you learn how to do it, you can do it for the rest of your life. Like literally. Like once you get past 6 figures in your business, unless there's like a catastrophic event or I don't know, just something happens to you like health wise, you shouldn't drop below 6 figures again. Because you know the math. You just know what to do. It's a very interesting kind of angle to be at in life. Okay? So if you want some help getting here, like maybe you understand this video and like, Bryce, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I know that I'm missing something, but I just don't know what it is. Go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call, see if I can help you reach your goals so you can avoid a lot of the mistakes that cause like most people to fail. If that's something you want help with, go ahead and click the link. I'd love to see you on the call. Let's see if I can help you out, okay? I will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day.